Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. Now, they are off to a very good start, and people are wondering maybe, how is it doing it? Is it maintainable? Well, let me tell you something. He actually has it set up in a very fluid feeling, but also structured at the same time, 4-3-3. Now, it is actually a very attacking thing, which is why at the start of the season you saw they struggled a little bit defensively, but he's starting to figure it out. But I've shown you a way where you can kind of build it up in the way he does. It's kind of a 3-2-1 3-1 kind of style thing, but everyone has to play in little pockets, and it's all designed, and you see he's adjusted it to flip it the other way around when needed in certain games, but he likes to have certain pocketed areas. So let me show you what we're talking about. So first things first, let's have a look over here. So in terms of attacking, 2.97 goals a game, obviously quite high in there. Shots not ridiculously high, but a lot of dribbles, but it is actually about working the ball into the box and actually penetrating with good chances instead of just firing shots for fun. I can raise that number for you, but it's probably going to be less good chances. So this floods the box, which I will show you clips of in just a moment. Now, defensively, 0.55 conceded per game. It is a formation you're going to have to build around the correct players. You're going to have to actually grow this formation by actually managing players, managing how they kind of their training, all that stuff as well, and actually making the players fit your system a lot better, actually recruiting a lot more. In about 3-4 years time, this formation will be near untouchable. I'm just guaranteeing you that. This formation is so much fun to build around. It's so attacking the way your team actually creates goals. It's hard for someone to keep your team down, and I'll show you that with some of the results as well. So I'll have a look over here for you, and I'll show you the results in the league. So obviously, as you can see here, won the league, only losing 4 games. So if I click on here for you, you can see it all. Only losing 4 games. It did draw 6, but as you can see, 4 of them were away, only 2 of them were actually at home, and just obviously just winning all the other games, scoring a lot of goals, 113, way more than anyone else, coming up to double a lot of the other teams as well, and conceding less than everybody as well. This formation has such a weird balance to it, but it shouldn't have the balance. But you can see this formation play out the exact way I'm going to describe it to you in a highlight as well. But we'll continue to look obviously some of the other results. So in obviously the cups, did get knocked out. You do have to manage through this a lot more. So this is just giving you a rough idea. So don't ever take these and go, oh, mine didn't play out that way. But I am obviously simulating a lot of these games and just showing you how the tactic can go. Obviously I can click on any game, show you the tactic was there and show you how it plays out, but you can manage these certain little moments in the game, and I can promise you, you can do a lot more in your first season than whatever I'm doing here for you. So stay patient, stay calm, just keep going with it. Obviously did win the Champions League, have just done that then as well. Play through that game because I thought it was important in the Champions League, obviously knockout stages, to play through them so I can show you what this actual maximised potential of this tactic really is. Allow the league to go as it was, but let me show you the actual Champions League final, and you can see some of the goals and see how it is. You'll see the shape, and obviously then I'll show you the tactic. So as we click on here, you will then see this is the shape. It's a very modified 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, whichever way you want to look at it. But realistically, the way it all plays, it's almost more like a 4-2-3-1. But as I told you, it'll be that 3-2-1. Don't worry about it. We'll get into it in a second. Let's look at the goals. You see, dominated the game really as well. The game was pretty much done by half time. Not gonna lie to you, absolutely flying. This team isn't necessarily the greatest team for this tactic, but at the same time, it has a lot of people that are broken, like a Palmer. So much weight goes on Palmer, but just have some faith. Have some faith. All right. So here, let me show you. So as you can see with the shape, so a lot of what we want to do is we want Reece James to support the attack, but we don't want him to bomb on. He's going to kind of sit into a 3 a lot of the time. The fullback has to go wide because one of the other fullbacks, Cucurella, is going to be an inverted wing back, and you choose wing back because we still want him to get forward, whether it is an underlap style thing. What a goal. But look at that. Let's just pause that there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players flooding the box with 1 arriving. When I tell you this is chaotic, this is about attacking, this is being aggressive. You see, Reece James is going forward. I will tell you now, he's on just a fullback support, but as you can see, he's still attacking. Again here, look as well, 5 players in the box. I think Reece James just joined, but you know what I mean. He's putting the ball into the box to 4 players. This is the key to this whole formation. When you can see here, it is a little bit leaky. There is gaps and stuff people to maybe exploit. You get a lot of bullshit just because it's FM. Don't we all know? But yes, as you see here as well, it was obviously very high up. You are going to see some goals, but you have to understand you are a very attacking team. You need to there, and this is where in the game at 3-0 up, you would obviously manage it a lot better. I just wanted to kind of let it play out at this point, but a goal from a corner doesn't really teach you a whole lot about this formation. This formation, as I said, it's the 4-1-1-3-1. It plays as, let me just show you. I don't know why I'm actually boring you with all this information, because you know how it works by now, but let me show you the tactic. And here it is. Isn't it a thing of beauty? Now, let me explain to you a lot of things here. So this is designed in a very nice mixed pattern kind of way, because you want everybody to fall into pockets. As I told you, it is fluid and aggressive, but it's also structured. And here is the structure. So you want a protector here. You can even move him centrally. I just have him out here because of what I'm about to explain in a second. You want your fullback to be just operating in these areas here. Just a little swoop here. I don't want him up here. I don't want him over here. I just want him operating in this little reverse, or more like a J kind of shape here as well. One of the fullbacks will be fine. The other one will kind of sit out wider, and then you want inverted wing back, because I want him to operate in this shape. Again, another J shape. Just swoop up and down here, but this is why I've got Caicedo set to the side, because he's going to sit here. And then he's deep line playmaker, so he's just going to drop in areas and stuff as well. And obviously your advanced playmaker here, because I want him to get in here, but he is set to roam, but I'll show you all them in a second, because I want him to get into all sorts of different areas. Inverted wing back on this side, because I want these two to interchange. I want them to be creative between themselves. And then obviously winger, I want him just wide, pinned out wide, because obviously his fullback's going to go inside. I want him to apply the width, which you saw in the tactic when you saw the highlights. So over here is very simple. Player tactics, let me show you. So more direct passes from the keeper. I don't want him just to say, go play out from the back. If you need to go, you send it. I don't care. I'm happy to send it into these wide areas, because that's what Maresca does in real life. Now, over here, fullback, cross more often, run wide with the ball, sit narrow when you have the ball. That is key. He needs to be sat narrow into this area here. He kind of naturally makes that 3. One centre back's fine. The other one will be stay wider. This one here, take fewer risks and get further forward. I want him to get forward and join into these attacks, add support to Fernandez. Fernandez at times, he'll go past Fernandez, because Fernandez is just kind of chilling, but he gets very aggressive at times and does go forward himself. Caicedo just as he is, and obviously more direct passes from my deep line playmaker. As he drops in here, I want him to punch passes out. I don't want him to be necessarily too safe. Pass. You are controlling the tempo of play. Out wide, just stay wider, set there as well. Dribble more, run from position. I want him to stay wider, because I want him to pinch the wing here, because naturally when you see here, he's going to cut inside with the ball when he's got it. That is when Palmer will then go in behind him, and they will kind of join up in this area here. Think of like Saka, Ødegaard style. Same basis, Palmer operates there, and you can flip it the other side if your players prefer to play it the other way. It doesn't have to be necessarily this exact way. You can invert it. And then a winger here, I just want him just as he is, but he just needs to be nice and wide. That's all it is. An attacker as he is, but just make sure he's a pressing forward. And surprisingly, I never have massive success with pressing forwards always, but this guy scores a lot of goals. As you can see, he scored 35 goals. Palmer got 26, and I think he got like 20 something assists as well. Absolutely flying. Not gonna lie to you. Now, let's look at obviously the instructions. As wide as you can, this pitch needs to be stretched as much as possible. Pass into space, shorter passing, and just a standard tempo. Again, control the game, do it your way, kind of change it a little bit. If your team's struggling on the ball, still keeping it and playing out a bit of possession, just lower the pace. If your team's kind of good at it, but you feel like they're missing some chances and that they're not pushing it when they can, speed up the tempo. Easy. Standard. I shouldn't teach you this. You should know this most likely, but if you don't, there's a tip for you. Low crosses, work ball into the box, run at defense. Now, the rest of it, I said, the structure side of it, you kind of got to do it. You can be more expressive. I can't really say I enjoy it. I think players tend to start doing silly things even more than anything, but don't worry about that. Here, very simple. Counter press, counter, and take short kicks. I want him to be able to go to the flanks or the playmaker or here. I am not forcing him to play out through the back, which you see many of my tactics I love to do, but Maresca doesn't. He's happy for them to kick it. He's happy for them to go into them channels, and they want a high line of press here, very pressing. You can add these two, but Chelsea don't really necessarily do that. They allow you to play out to kind of set you into traps. So if I'm honest, that is all you need. And then a higher defensive line. Don't obviously go too high with it, just that one drop there, high there. I can't really tell you much more about that. For me, this was absolutely, I want to say lovely, fun, great, interesting. It had everything. This formation is something to build a team around, especially if you've got young players and you want to grow them. This is the one. I can't really tell you a way thingy. Let me show you some of the stats actually before we go. So stats wise, hopefully my head's not blocking it. But even off the bench, 10 goals here, chipping in, 15 goals here off the bench, 8, 35 and 6, 18 and 17, 13, 26 from the other winger, 26, 20, 18, 12 from there as well. Everyone does join in. James did get 18. He got more actual attacking things than the other side did. I don't know. Don't see a fullback and support and think that's defensive. It's not always the case. What can I say? But they overload the players is on that area as well, which is why he gets a lot more stuff from it, because the players will cut in and shoot. But that is it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that. But comment down below, who shall we see next? Also, do not forget, there is a Discord, so join the Discord. Link will be in the bio, as you know already. But that is it from me today. Like, subscribe, please do comment. All them free things help so much. Even if you don't like it, like the video, because it just helps me. Means a lot. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.